Honda are bringing new electric bikes, and they're going to be sports bikes as well. Watch this video. Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. I hope you're all well. So Honda, the big machine that is Honda, they're going to be pushing the electric bikes over the next couple of years. And it seems as if they're going to bring out some high-performance electric bikes as well. But I just want to make this point with Honda. They're just celebrating selling over 500 million bikes. That's 500 million bikes. This year alone, or last year alone, I should say, they've sold over 20 million bikes. They sell this on a regular basis. Honda motorcycles are just unlike any other brand in terms of automotive sense that I can think of. I can't think of another motorcycle brand that comes anywhere close. Yes, in certain countries, other brands take the lead. I'm talking about India, for example, the likes of Bajaj, TVS, so on and so forth. But in terms of a global presence, there's nobody like them. Now, I also said, if you watch my videos and watch my channel a few years ago when I was talking about electric bikes, talking about Harley-Davidson, Livewire, Zero motorcycles, talking about Energica, Fuel, and a lot of these startup electric brands, I said, just hold on what you're saying about these electric bikes and wait until the big Japanese or the big brands, the massive brands come into the market. And what we've seen over the last couple of years is that they've slowly been inching their way into the market, like the likes of Honda, the likes of some of the Indian brands as well, to say, okay, what are they going to start producing? Now, they've all started with a lot of low power electric bikes, but it seems as if the big push is coming. And there's no difference here. So I suppose one of the first questions I would ask is, well, what do you think of this bike that is being proposed by Honda? Just by the looks of it itself, I think it looks pretty good. I've got to say, I like the look of it. It looks sleek. It looks very Honda. I've got to say. I mean, I don't know exactly what I mean by that, but even if it didn't have the Honda badge on there, I would say, oh, that looks like a Honda. So maybe it's kind of generic styling. Maybe I'm kind of hinting at that, even though this is an electric bike. But I mean, look, they've basically at EICMA 2024 they had a whole raft of new concept and new ideas. They've just got that compressor VR3, I think it is, VR2 VR3 compressor just approved as a patent and trademarked, I should say, here in the UK as well. So they are coming full force with their bikes for the future. They've set their stall here. And electric bikes are going to be the way forward for Honda in certain markets and in certain riding styles. Now, you could say most of the electric bikes are always going to be urban riding, utility riding, not really pleasure riding per se, but more of there's a point to this mode of transport. I want to get from point A to point B, short distance. So they've already entered that market. And they're pretty much dominated. And this is where I hark back to the likes of, Harley-Davidson, Livewire, and other brands that really have gone for they tried to go for the high performance market, like Livewire with their Livewire, and then Livewire, the company, with Livewire 1, and then the S2 Danmark, but also other brands that have just never really got off the mark, like Damon with their hyper electric bikes. And there's been other brands as well. As opposed to coming in at the low level end where most people are going to buy bikes and young people are going to buy bikes. Well, this is what Honda have done. They already do that with their internal combustion engine bikes, right? The bulk of their sales have always been low performance bikes or low small engine, small displacement bikes, low cc bikes. So actually they've done the same with their electric bikes as well. But now they're going to say, well, look, we've got the might here and we can afford to do this, and we can show you what we can do. And this is where I see the electric bike market in terms of what the future is. I've always thought that the electric bikes, in terms of the companies that were producing them, it's going to be a bit hit and miss. The market wasn't quite ready for them. Some led the way, some have fallen. You know, this last year we've had 3 or 4 electric bike companies, startups, and even established companies. They've gone bankrupt. Energica, Cake from Sweden. There's a couple of others. There's Arc Vector from the UK that went by the wayside as well. You know, other manufacturers like Zero have seen their sales fall as well, let alone the likes of Livewire from Harley Davidson. They're just not making any sales. I mean, the sales that they're making is ridiculous. It's like 30 or 40 or whatever, it's 50. It's a handful of bikes that they're selling in comparative terms. Whereas the likes of Honda, they're already planning, or they're building a production plant in India that's supposed to be ready in 2028 purely for electric bikes. A lot of the Indian brands are already ramping up their production for electric bikes as well. And it's going to be a parallel product, or parallel product line, I should say, from these companies. They're not dumping the small internal combustion engine bikes. They're not saying we're going all woke and we're just not doing petrol engines. No, they're doing all sorts. You know, that's why we're seeing the likes of Kawasaki with hydrogen. You know, we're seeing other motorcycle manufacturers, let's say in India and also from Japan as well. They're looking at bikes with alternative fuels. They're looking at lots of different possibilities, and electric is just one of them. But they have the might to enter the market and really, really push hard. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Whereas the other companies, just the purely electric bikes, they're going to be left behind. You know, I cannot see how they're ever going to be able to compete with the likes of Honda. Honda, say what you want to say about them, but they are an unstoppable force in many ways. And they bring bikes that people want. Now, what's happened with Honda over the last few months, as I reported in a previous video, is that they're dumping the 50cc bikes. They're not going to be making them anymore from this month onwards, from May onwards, 2025. They're going to be replacing it with a 110 or 120cc bike. That's going to be the entry-level moped, and it's just going to be detuned to the 50cc equivalent for certain markets where the power is applicable. But they're also backfilling that, or running parallel, and they've been already doing it, of course, with the electric scooters and the electric two-wheeled vehicles as well. They've already done it. So they've already got instant replacement for it. So for Honda, it's just money coming in. It's just units being sold over and over again. That's why they're selling millions and millions globally each year. That's why they've just passed 500 million bikes, 500 million bikes. I mean, other manufacturers can only dream of something like that. They can only dream of a fraction of what they're doing. And this is what we see. The likes of Honda, who know what the business is of motorcycle manufacturing. They know that they can bring out electric bikes in the future, and they can bring out low-powered ones that everybody's going to want to buy or going to need to buy for everyday use. But they're also going to be producing bikes that are going to whet the appetite for something faster, let alone their investment in battery technology that's going to just keep on going on and on. And we know with electric vehicles, electric bikes, it's the battery tech. That's one of the key areas that's going to evolve over the next few years. So it's an interesting time for the electric bike market. It's an interesting time for Honda because, as I said, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, wait until Honda, the likes of Honda, come into the electric bike market. Then we'll really see where the game is at. And for me, this is where the game is at. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like what I do here, keep on watching the videos. And don't forget, you can go to the website, RevelatorAlf.com/books for all the motorcycle books that I sell. And with that, I'll catch you again in another video coming very soon. Bye now.